Welcome, motorsport fans. We're jumping right into the high-octane world of Moto2 today. We're going to break down the full race digest and final results from the 2026 Americas GP. We are talking about the Circuit of the Americas, or COTA, a brutally demanding track that pushes both the riders and their bike setups to the absolute limit. So let's get right to it.
Okay, let's dive into this. COTA is it's a beast. You've got that massive 1.2-kilometer straight where these bikes are absolutely flying, followed by extreme physical and technical sectors. And man, chaos in Texas is definitely the right way to describe what went down this weekend. It was wild from literally the word go. Section 1, the starting grid and the chaos. So get this, before the lights even went out, the grid was completely shaken up. David Alonso, who actually clocked the fastest qualifying time, got hit with a technical penalty for a tire pressure violation. His lap deleted. That bumped him all the way back and promoted Barry Baltus to pole position. Suddenly, we've got a totally unexpected front row with Baltus, Alonso Lopez, and rookie Angel Piqueras.
All right, so the race starts and the chaos is immediate. Lights out, they charge up the hill, and right at turn 1, bam, Daniel Holgado and Joe Roberts tangle up and crash. But it doesn't stop there. By the time the pack hits turn 11, a massive multi-bike pileup just erupts. It was so severe the stewards had no choice. Red flag immediately. Race suspended.
7. That's how many riders were swept up in that terrifying turn 11 pileup. We're talking big names too. Sergio Garcia, David Alonso, Colin Veyer, all tangled in the runoff area. It was a really scary moment. Thankfully, the track was cleared, but the original race plan was completely thrown out the window.
Section 2, the fateful 10-lap sprint.
So the track is cleared of debris, and race control resets the whole thing based on the original grid, but shortened to a frantic 10-lap shootout. Now, what's really interesting about this restart is the casualties we already had. Piqueras, Fernandez, and Garcia, they couldn't even make the restart because of bike damage, and Philip Selak had to start all the way from pit lane. The tension on that grid was palpable. Now, beyond the riding, there was a massive technical battle unfolding here. We've got the traditional dominance of the Calyx chassis, which is super traction-focused, going head-to-head with the surging Bosco Scorro frame, known for its incredible cornering stability. Throw in Pirelli's super soft SCX rubber, and COTA's heavy braking zones became the ultimate proving ground for these two different design philosophies. This all climaxed in what I can only call the ultimate duel. In those closing laps, we saw an absolutely gritty, edge-of-your-seat battle between Senna Agius on the Calyx and Celestino Vietti on the Bosco Scorro. I mean, they were pushing so hard you could practically see the brake discs glowing. It was a proper dogfight right down to the final lap. And the margin of victory? Just 0.497 seconds, less than half a second. Senna Agius brilliantly held off a really aggressive late charge from Vietti to take the win, maximizing that Calyx traction out of the final corner. What a phenomenal finish to an unbelievably stressful sprint. Section 3, final race results. Let's take a breath and look at how the podium shook out. You've got Senna Agius taking the top step for Calyx, but right behind him, Celestino Vietti in second and Izan Guevara grabbing third. That means 2 Bosco Scorro chassis on the podium. This really proves that Bosco Scorro is seriously threatening the long-standing Calyx empire. And this brilliantly illustrates just how much of a survival race this was, especially when we check in on the Japanese riders. Ayumu Sasaki navigated through all that absolute chaos to finish 15th, scoring a really hard-fought championship point. Meanwhile, rookie Taiyo Fudosato managed to cross the line in 18th. Getting to the finish line under these conditions is an achievement in itself. Section 4, latest point standings. So, zooming out, how did this wild American race impact the championship? Well, Manuel Gonzalez has actually taken the championship lead after a solid 5th-place finish. Meanwhile, the guys who stood on the COTA podium, Guevara, Vietti, and Agius, have just absolutely rocketed up the leaderboard. Holgado, unfortunately, drops down to 3rd after his lap 1 crash. So, the crucial point is this number, 7.5. That's the tiny margin, just 7.5 points, separating the top 4 riders in the standings right now. It is unbelievably tight. Without a single dominant runaway leader, this championship is turning into one of the most fiercely contested seasons we've seen in a long time. Which brings us to the big question. As we leave the Americas and head to the classic Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez, who is going to dominate? With this incredibly tight field and the chassis war heating up between Calyx and Bosco Scorro, the European rounds are going to be spectacular. You definitely won't want to miss how this unfolds.
Thanks for joining me for this breakdown, and I'll catch you guys next time.